Kaizen and psychology, how your brain changes with daily improvements. Our brains are powerful, adaptable, and constantly changing. This ability to rewire and reshape itself is known as neuroplasticity, and it's the foundation of how Kaizen works at a psychological level. Small, daily improvements don't just change habits, they physically rewire the brain for long-term success. Understanding neuroplasticity and Kaizen. Neuroplasticity means that every time you learn something new, practice a skill, or form a habit, your brain creates and strengthens neural pathways. The more you repeat an action, the stronger these pathways become. Think of it like a hiking trail. At first, the path is barely visible. But the more people walk on it, the clearer and easier it becomes to follow. This is how habits form. When we use Kaizen, small, consistent improvements, we strengthen the pathways that lead to success, making positive actions automatic over time. The science behind small improvement studies show that small, manageable changes are more effective for long-term habit formation than drastic changes. When we attempt big, sudden improvements, our brains perceive them as threats, activating the stress response. This is why extreme diets, aggressive fitness programs, or massive productivity overhauls often fail. But when you improve by just 1% daily, your brain doesn't resist the change. It's small enough to feel easy, which allows consistency to build over time. And that's where real transformation happens. How Kaizen rewires your brain for success. Every time you make a small improvement, your brain releases dopamine, the reward neurotransmitter. Dopamine reinforces positive behavior, making you feel good and encouraging you to repeat the action. This is why acknowledging even the tiniest progress is so important. Here's how small, continuous improvements change your brain. 1. They strengthen neural pathways. The more you repeat a habit, the easier it becomes. 2. They reduce mental resistance. Small steps prevent the brain from triggering stress responses. 3. They create a sense of accomplishment. Dopamine from small wins keeps motivation high. 4. They improve willpower. By taking small actions daily, you develop self-discipline naturally. Applying Kaizen to rewire your brain. So how can you use Kaizen in everyday life to train your brain for success? 1. Start ridiculously small. Want to read more? 1. Read one sentence a day. 1. Want to exercise? 1. Stretch for 30 seconds first. 1. The key is to lower the barrier of entry so much that it feels effortless. 2. Celebrate small wins. Even checking off a small task sends a signal to your brain that progress is being made. 2. Write down small victories every day. 3. Make the habit easy to repeat. If you want to journal, keep a notebook on your bedside table. 3. If you want to drink more water, keep a glass nearby. 3. Reduce friction. 4. Reflect on progress. Looking back at even a week of small improvements shows your brain that change is happening, reinforcing the habit. 5. Embrace patience. Kaizen is about long-term, sustainable growth. 5. Trust the process, even when results aren't immediate. Real-life example, the power of small changes. Let's take a real-life example of how Kaizen works in psychology. Imagine two people who want to start running. 1. Person decides to run 5 miles a day immediately. 1. It feels overwhelming, exhausting, and hard to maintain. 1. Within a week, they quit. 2. Person B starts by walking for just 5 minutes. 2. The next week, they increase it to 10 minutes. 2. Over time, they build endurance, and running becomes a natural part of their routine. Person B's approach aligns with how the brain adapts best, gradually, with small, manageable steps. The compound effect of Kaizen in the brain. Here's where the magic of Kaizen really shines. If you improve by just 1% every day, in 1 year, you're 37 times better than when you started. It's not just about progress, it's about exponential growth. This applies to 1. Learning new skills. 2. Developing healthier habits. 3. Strengthening relationships. 4. Improving focus and productivity. Kaizen isn't just a productivity hack, it's a brain-friendly approach to lasting success. Final thoughts: Kaizen works because it aligns with how the brain naturally learns and adapts. By focusing on small, consistent improvements, you rewire your brain for success, develop better habits, and create lasting change without resistance. Start today with one tiny action. The brain is always learning. Make sure it's learning something that moves you forward.